Question 3. This is analytical geometry, math paper 2, November 2016. So lana ngiphethe a question asibona ukuthi singayisolve kanjani ke le diagram le. In the diagram, A, B, C, and D are the vertices of rectangle ABCD, and the equation of AD is y equal to 2x plus 16. Line AB cuts the y-axis at G. The x-intercept of line BC is F, and the angle of inclination of BC is alpha. Again, OBC forms an angle of inclination with the positive x-axis, and the angle of inclination is alpha. The diagonals of the rectangle intersect at M. M is the midpoint yani yalama diagonals for the rectangle. So lana basiphe an equation for line AD, sinama coordinates lana D and B, we don't have any coordinates. Ne? Now 3.1, the first question, but they calculate the coordinates of M. The coordinates of M is what? Is the midpoint for lama diagonals. Ne? And for diagonal AC, midpoint yakhona is about the same as for the midpoint for diagonal DB. So seven some coordinates got AC to calculate the midpoint. Ne? If we had the coordinates for D and B, we're gonna use our coordinates. So 3.1. M is XA plus XC divided by 2, YA, YC divided by 2, M, XA is minus 7, XA is minus 7 plus XC, it's 6 divided by 2, YA is 2, and then YC it's 3. So ngale a comma. Therefore, minus 7 plus 6, it's minus 1 divided by 2. So the x coordinate is minus half, and then it's gonna be 5 divided by 2. This one. So y coordinate now is 5 over 2, and the x coordinate is minus 1 over 2. So that's what all the coordinates got M. Now 3.2, write down the gradient of BC in terms of P. Write down the gradient of BC in terms of P. So the gradient got BC. The gradient for BC in terms of P, we're going to use F no C, right? Ngoba coordinates got B as now, so sebenzisa F no C, and remember the point C, point F, and point B are collinear points, meaning they lie on the same line, and collinear points or collinear points ane gradient efanayo. BF gradient yakhona izolingana ne gradient ka FC. BC gradient yakhona izolingana nobani no BF. Uyabona? So wonke lama points lawa azonikeza the same gradient. So I gradient ka BC in terms of P na again 3.2, gradient BC is equal to, so sebenzisa coordinates ka F no C. So it's going to be YF minus YC XF XC equal to YF, I think by the coordinate like F, like it's P and 0, C 6 and 3. So YF is what? It's P minus YC, it's 3. XF, whoa, blunder equal to, I think it YF is what? It's 0. YC, okay, YC it's 3. XF it's what? It's P minus XC 6. So answer A2 is going to be minus 3 divided by P minus 6. So now I answer A2 again. The gradient of BC. Sometimes instead of saying YF minus YC, singathi YC minus YF and do the same good denominator nakhona. It doesn't matter, ne? Eventually komele sithole answer ifanayo. So the gradient of BC has been written in terms of P 3.3. Hence calculate the value of P. Calculate the value of P. Right. Lena bathini a rectangle, right? Basically in that statement. This is a rectangle, and the opposite sides of a rectangle are parallel. So ama lines are parallel in the Cartesian plane. Ama lines are parallel in the Cartesian plane. Ama gradients wakhona zolingana. So gradient AB is gonna be equal to gradient BC. So in this case, in order to calculate to P, sizodinga a gradient ngoba la phezulu basicalculate yona ngisho in terms of what? P. So we're gonna need the value of the gradient of BC in order to calculate bani P. So gradient AD is equal to gradient BC. Why? Ngoba the side AD is parallel to side BC. Ama properties were triangle, were rectangle. Na rectangle nyani incane la. This side is gonna be parallel to this one. This one is going to be parallel to this one. Ama properties were rectangle. So now therefore, from this equation, it's written this equation then. Y equal to 2x plus 16 plus 16. This equation got 80. It's written in this form: y equal to mx plus 16. So the two lana we gradient kabani got 80. So therefore gradient BC is equal to 2. Gradient BC is equal to 2. Over the gradient of 80 is what? Is 2. So we can use the gradient now to calculate the value of P. I'm sure the gradients we calculated as minus 3 over P minus 6 in the previous question. So we substitute la minus 3 over P minus 6 is equal to 2. Then we have an equation is formula which is calculate to P. So we can cross multiply, or you can just say LCM. It doesn't matter, ne? Over both ways they give the same answer na corner. So 2 times this total P 2 in brackets P minus 6. So this multiplies the 2 is equal to 1 times minus 3. It's minus 3. Now solve for the bracket. It's 2p minus 12 equal to minus 3. 2p minus 3 plus 12, 2p equal to 9, 10, 12. So it's 9. Divide both sides by 2. P is equal to 9 over 2. Is that true? Yes. The answer must be positive because we f we x coordinate ga, so we x intercept ga BC, and the P must be positive. So the answer is P equal to 9 over 2. So 3.4, calculate the length dB. Okay. Diagonal, the length of diagonal AC will be equal to the length of diagonal DB. Properties of a rectangle. The diagonals of a rectangle are equal. Ngoba ama coordinates ka D no B asinawo, so we can calculate a length ga DB using ama coordinates for these ends, ne? So instead sisebenzisa AC. Why sebenzisa AC? Ngoba ama diagonals the diagonals of a rectangle are equal. So line AC is equal to line DB. Why? What diagonals of rectangle are equal. So inside this property of a rectangle. Now AC is equal to square root XA minus XC squared, YA minus YC squared. Sibhala ama coordinates ka AC la. Tingabhale la. A is minus 7, 2, C, 6 and 3. Now A and C. Okay, my coordinates got C now. So AC is equal to square root XA negative 7. XC it's minus 6 squared plus YA 2 minus YC 3 squared. AC is equal to calculator. Yeah. Now Sizoti square root using a calculator. Yes, in a calculator, I get my 7 minus 6 squared plus 2 minus 3 squared. Answer is equal to 170. Nyazi ngitose kakhulu le square root mara anyway, AC is supposed to be equal to square root 170. Na answer yethu la, ne? This is our answer. Therefore DB is equal to square root 170 ngoba ama diagonals alinga. Now 3.5 uthi calculate the size of alpha. Yes, calculate the size of alpha. So alpha is the angle of inclination. Is the angle of inclination. 3.5 is equal to what? Is equal to tan alpha equal to gradient BC. So 70 gradient ka BC. Ngoba si calculate gradient ka BC. Ang gradient ka BC lingana no bane? No 80. So gradient BC so is 7 to calculate angle alpha. So this is the formula for calculating angle of inclination. So tan alpha is equal to BC. The gradient yaga BC is what? It's 2, right? So it's 2 alpha tan 2 shift tan 2 is equal to, in 2 decimal places, is what? 63.43 degrees. So now I answer it again. Ne? This is the size for angle alpha. Now 3.6 babuya, but they calculate the size or calculate the size for now the angle ga O OGB, this angle. Ngisebenzisa pencil. Sifuna this angle, ne? Sifuna this angle, but siceda calculator only this angle yala, ne? And for how many marks? 3 marks. Sifuna the angle yala, but thina we only have the angle for here. Sorry man. Well, yeah, in a way it's not the angle yala. Check out this triangle. In this triangle, this triangle, yes, remember properties of a rectangle. These corners, ama angles wakhona angaiki, it's 90 degrees. So in this triangle lena, yes, in this triangle lena, this angle, I'm sure these angles are vertically opposite angles. Lana no 90 degrees. I can calculate the angle ya lana, ne? So this angle, ne? And this 90 degrees la, angiti, this y-axis and this x-axis, they intersect at 90 degrees, meaning are perpendicular la line now. So it's no 90 and this angle la, ne? And the angle le, nangzo at another angle le, is only the exterior opposite angle of a triangle, the exterior angle of a triangle. So le plus le together this one. For this small triangle, there's one big triangle and one small triangle, ne? So bheka ke manje lana, in order to calculate to OGB ngidinga le angle yala kahle kahle ngoba yala already sisiyazi ukuthi it's 90. Leya lana ngayi calculator using these two angles, ne? Using these two angles nga calculator yala, once ngathola i-angle yala ngizoyi add na le izonginikeza OGB, right? Now 3.6, the angle yala ilingana no alpha, ne? So this angle yala so I calculator so sizothi ngara singayibiza le angle. Okay, this angle yala, ne? This angle yala ngizoyi calculator so ngayibiza bani mara le angle okay, I think it, because there's no easier way to reference the angle yala. So ngizothi ke this angle yala is equal to 180 degrees. Le plus le nigga 180 degrees, ne? But this angle yala, it's gonna be equal to 180 degrees minus the angle yala, which we calculated, say 63.43 degrees plus 90 degrees. Nangzo add le angle yala na la ngi subtract from 180 degrees izonginika le angle yala. Angisho nangabe ngithatha this angle yala ngi add nalo 90 degrees wala komele ngithola ubani OGB. So bheka ke manje angle OGB is equal to 90 degrees. 90 degrees plus this weird angle she calculated la, which is 180 degrees minus 63.43 degrees plus 90 degrees. So it's gonna be equal to the reason why OGB is equal to this external angle of triangle equal to, so sizothi what is 90 plus 180 is equal to 270 degrees minus wena plus wena 63,43 plus 90 is what now? 153,43 degrees equal to 270 minus 153,43 is equal to 116,57 degrees. Yeah, well, I know. It's a mess. Marungawar. Ngoba bheka. This angle shouldn't confuse you, Ganga. This angle alpha is equal to this one in this big triangle. Why? They are vertical opposite angles. Né? This one it's unknown. Light's 90 degrees according to our properties way rectangle. Wena plus wena minus or subtracted from 180 degrees will give us this angle. And the angle esifuna is the external angle of a triangle, and the interior opposite angles naswa eta must give us the angle esifuna. So light's 90 by the nature of the Cartesian plane, and then plus this angle must give us the one esifuna, right? 3.7 determine the equation of the circle passing through D, B and C in this form. So circle izo cross touch ubani D, ibuye touch ubani C, ibuye touch ubani B, and remember it's 90 degrees. Remember from Euclidean geometry, if this angle is 90 degrees, now circle yethu. If this angle is 90 degrees, definitely this line BD must be the diameter. It must be the diameter, and if this is the diameter, the coordinates of M will be the center of the circle. So 3.7 let's just spell the equation of the circle in this form. So isot x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equal to r squared. Siyabona ukuthi from the sketch db is equal to what? The diameter. db is diameter. So and the diameter is going to be equal to, so kumbula si calculate length ga db. Length ga db si calculate ile ubani square root 170. So therefore db is square root 170. Ne? And asifuna ini radius. So the radius la is going to be r equal to db divided by 2, which is square root 170 divided by 2. Stinga radius ama coordinates we centers now. Ma coordinates we center ayalingana na ma coordinates ka m. So calculate ile na ma coordinates ka m ubani minus half and 5/2. So I'm center here together. Center is equal to m minus half over 5/2. So therefore sizoti ke manje x minus a is the x coordinate of the midpoint. So negative times this negative times this negative just a positive. So it's all squared plus y minus, so it's y minus b ubani 5/2 squared equal to r is what? 170, the square root of 170 over 2 everything squared. As you solve again, this one is otini the square root sizosuka, so bano 170 divided by 2 squared, it's 4. 170 divided by 2 is what? 80 divided by 4. Divided by 4 is what? 42.5. 42.50. So the equation now again. Therefore, equation it is about x plus 1 over 2 squared y minus 5 over 2 squared is equal to 170 divided by 4, which is the same as 42.5. So, study 3.7. 3.7. The last question again now. If AD uma ngabe AD uphu AD la nangu AD is shifted so that ABCD becomes a square, ne? It becomes a square. So ngishift out AD ngimsondeza closer la. Therefore ngizo obtain what? A square. Now let's move from a rectangle to a square. So komele sikhumbule nama properties wani we square. Will BC, this line BC, be a tangent to the circle passing through A, M, and B, where M is now the intersection of the diagonals of the square? Motivate your answer. Will BC be what? The tangent, dang it. So now, okay, 90 izowenzeka la. 90 izowenzeka. BC. No, let me say this is AD. AD ngiyamsusa ngimsondeza la. Now, and then ngiba no C and B, right? Senginani? Sengine square ke manje. Nasi square sum. It's not perfect, mara I hope I make my point ngale example, ne? So bheka, and then there's gonna be a circle pass through A, M, and B. M is the midpoint yala madiagonals, angisho. A, M, and B. So kuzoba ne circle around these points now, ne? Kuzoba ne circle around these points, and ama-diagonals we square, they intersect and then naga intersect lama angles lawa between the diagonals is about 90 degrees, and this point is at the circumference of the circle in question, and this point is at the circumference as well as this point, and the angles at the center are what? 90 degrees. So bheka, AB is the diameter yale circle, and then BC is it a tangent? Now we have to answer your question there, ne? You can just draw the sketch le answer your question le, ne? I don't think bangakunisha ama marks for lo, ne? So now draw a sketch le to demonstrate here. Look, okay, from our properties of our squares, like it's 90 degrees, this is the diameter, ne? And from this 90 degrees, this line is perpendicular to this line, so therefore BC is perpendicular to bani AB. So therefore BC uyini uzoba tangent. Why? Ngoba perpendicular to the diameter, and the line that's perpendicular to its diameter or the radius, and it's touching only one point of the circle, it is a tangent. So therefore, by showing this case, so prove you have what? A tangent, which is BC. Okay, the question Lena, it was a bit difficult nyana yona, mara it was enjoyable, though, ne? Mara Okay, just tell me what you think in the comment section about this question. Was it hard? Was it difficult? Khona la unga-understandanga khona, leave a comment in the comment section. So thanks for watching. Nangabu new to this channel, consider subscribing. And nangabu enjoy, leave a thumbs up, share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.